All right, guys, we're going to continue with our volumes unit here, and our today's lesson is going to be over volumes of pyramids and cones. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it here. So first thing we're learning here is about the volume of a pyramid. So here's our formula that we'll be using. The volume of a pyramid is 1/3 the product of the area of the base and the height of the pyramid. So again, this will be the formula that we use for all pyramids. V equals 1/3 big B H. And again, big B is represented by the area of the base. So again, depending on what your base is, it's going to be the area of that base times the height of the pyramid. And again, this is a good label here of what it's supposed to look like. Again, the height should always be perpendicular to the base. Okay. And then because of Cavalari's principle, which is what we covered yesterday, the volume formula is true for all pyramids. The height h of an oblique pyramid is the length of the perpendicular segment from its vertex to the plane of the base. So again, oblique is not where it's off a little bit, right? Whereas if we have a regular pyramid, it should be where the height comes straight down to the base, and it should be perpendicular. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on here. So our first example here, finding the volume of a pyramid. So again, since we're looking at a pyramid here, it's going to be V equals 1/3 big B H. So first part is understanding what shape is our base. So let's take a look here. The entrance of the Louvre Museum in Paris, France is a square pyramid with a height of 21.64 meters. What's the approximate volume of the Louvre pyramid? So that's the case here. We already know we're looking at the base, and that shape, they told us, is a square pyramid. That means the base is a square. So I'm looking for the area of a square, and there's two formulas you can use, base times height or side squared, since all sides in a square are the same. Now, if I use this picture to help me out here, they tell me what that side length is. That side length is 35.4 meters. So again, if I'm doing base times height or side squared, it's just going to end up being 35.4 times 35.4, which again should give us the answer right around of 1,253.16 meters squared. That's area. That's our big B. So big B is that big number right there. The height they told us in that formula right there is 21.64 meters. So again, I would multiply those two numbers together and then multiply that answer times 1/3. And that should give us another big answer of 9,039.4608. But again, in the question, they want the approximate answer. That means we're rounding to the nearest whole number, and that should be 9,039 meters cubed. Anytime we do volume, your units should be in cubic units. So again, it's going to be meters cubed. All right, finding the volume of a pyramid. So what's the volume in cubic feet of a square pyramid with base edges of 40 feet and a slant height of 25 feet? So this one, they don't give us the height. So in this instance here, our first thing that we have to find here is the height. And for us to do that, we're going to use Pythagorean theorem here. So the Pythagorean theorem, as you can kind of tell in this highlighted image right here, there is our triangle. That side that the H is pointing to, that's what we're trying to find. So that height, remember, is going to bisect this side length here. So again, the full side length is 40. So for that triangle, it's just going to be half of it, which we see right there is 20. So again, if you're always trying to find the height, you're going to use Pythagorean theorem there, and it should always bisect the height. So again, it's always going to be half of a side length, and they give you what the slant height is right there, which is 25. So again, use your Pythagorean theorem. Since we're looking for a leg, remember, it's either going to be A or B. You can pick, and you're going to end up subtracting there. So as we see, we have h squared plus 20 squared equals 25 squared. They squared it, they subtracted, and then they solved for h there. So in this instance, as we can tell, h should be, or the height is going to be 15. Now that we have solved for the height here, now we can go find the area of the base. So then the area of our base here, and again, as we can tell, it's a square pyramid. So just like the previous problem, to find the area of a square, use either base times height or side squared. So 40 times 40, as we can tell here, gives us a big number of 1,600. I'm going to multiply that times 15 and then multiply that big number by 1/3. And that's going to give us the volume, which is 8,000 feet cubed. Again, remember, anytime we do volume, cubic units. So this one will be feet cubed. Okay. So we've done volume of a pyramid. Let's look at volume of a cone here. So I love this example here. If you ever look at a cone and you fill 3 of those up, it should give you a cylinder. So again, that's the really cool part. Pyramids work the same way also. Again, if you fill them up with rice and then you pour those 3, it should take you 3 exact cups of those pyramids or those cones to fill up a cylinder or a prism. It's a really cool thing that, it's cooler to see in person. With the Corona stuff, it's a lot harder to do. So the image I would like here is to kind of show you the guys that. So that's where they got this 1/3 from, because it's a third of those prisms and cylinders. So for our cone here, you can use 1/3 BH again, but since we're dealing with circles, we're going to use our simplified form here of 1/3 pi r squared h. So you need 2 things here. You need to find your radius. You need to find the height for your cones. All right, so let's take a look here at number 3. So number 3, the covering on a TP rests on poles that come together like concurrent lines. The resulting structure approximates a cone. If the TP pictured is 12 feet high with a base diameter of 14 feet, what is the approximate volume? So they tell you the height of your cone. The height is going to be 12 feet here, and they gave us the diameter. So unfortunately, we don't need the diameter. We need the radius. So to go from a diameter to a radius, you divide by 2. So that means that our radius here is going to be 7. So half of 14 is 7. So again, I'm going to plug those 2 numbers into my formula right here. So I have 1/3 pi 7 squared because it's r squared. And then my h, like we said before, is 12. 7 squared is 49. 49 times 12. And then we take 1/3 of that and then multiply it times pi because they want the approximate. That's what they say there. So we're going to include pi in our answer there. So 1/3 times pi times 49 times 12. And you should get the answer of 615.7521601. But again, the approximate means we're going to round to the nearest whole number there. So this should round up to 616 feet cubed. All right. So that's going to cover for today's lessons, guys. We've covered cones and we've covered pyramids. So we will have homework over this. Again, this will be due by Wednesday, April 29th by 11:59 p.m. Make sure you stay on top of your assignments. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Again, you can remind me. You can email me, whatever you need to do to get in contact with me. Just get in touch with me. And then I also feel like you can come to those office hours if you have questions. Okay. All right, guys. You guys stay safe out there. And if you need anything, I'm here for you. See you guys.